The Disneyland Resort has so much going on, including all kinds of California pandemic restrictions rolling back come June 15th. What does that mean for Disneyland specifically? We'll dive into it. Walt Disney World is about to see a major expansion of hotel rooms. We will talk more about that in just a bit. And what are some of the best shows and attractions at Disney's Animal Kingdom? We discuss. I know you can't wait, and neither can we. My friends, it's May 22nd, 2021. Kingdom Report Live starts right now.
All who come to this happy place, welcome.
Taking that live look outside like we always do at the Disneyland Resort via the HojoAnaheim.com Mattercam. Got that sweeping view of not only the Matterhorn, but also Space Mountain in the distance. And can we just point out the flurry of activity in the resort district once again? It's so wonderful to see that. Lots of traffic has returned not only to the resort district, but to the roadways of California everywhere. Well, hello everyone. It's Wade Heath for the Kingdom Report, joining you once again for all things magical. That's right, Disney news and discussion from coast to coast, connecting you to more of what makes you happy. That's what we do here, and we're so grateful to be a part of your weekend. So grateful that you could join us during this broadcast of news and discussion. Hey, we believe that you need to be rewarded if you watch this show. If you are part of the live broadcast, or you watch us a couple days after the live broadcast, but you watch this baby in its entirety, only you get this opportunity. So we want to share with you how you can win a special Kingdom Report mug. That's right, a Kingdom Report mug in which to enjoy a little bit of sippy sip sip. All you got to do is wait until this live video posts. As soon as it is posted on YouTube, go just beneath the video, leave the comment, dreams come true. That's right, dreams come true is the phrase that pays this week. If you leave that comment just beneath this video as soon as it posts, you, my friends, will be entered to win potentially your very own Kingdom Report mug. All you have to do is leave that comment beneath this video between now and Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time. And if you leave that comment, you are randomly entered to potentially win yourself your very own Kingdom Report mug. So dreams come true in the comment section down below. Well, we have, as always, so many discussion points, so many topics to touch on here, and I can't wait to dive in to everything. But before we do, let's introduce who's here with us today. As per usual, it is Tyler Crouch, Katrina Manzone. So great to have you guys with us.
It's good to be back.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot what your face looked like.
Yeah, I don't remember what you look like either.
Time. Yeah.
You walked in, I was like, who is this?
I know, they're like,
Get out of here.
security, security.
My God.
Some crazy lady just walked in.
Wow.
And I definitely remember your face, so I'm insulted.
Well, thank you for that. Wow. Well, I was going to say I remember yours. I just don't remember hers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Well, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Not
You're,
worried about it. Then.
you're like on a milk carton for me. Like I see that face in my
Am
dreams
am
and my
missing
nightmares.
child? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
I see
He
it all
opens
over
up the fridge being like, oh, hello there.
Oh,
Welcome back.
It's a little
Tyler.
Tyler on the milk
He
carton.
does love milk, so that's
Oh,
a good.
oh.
I do like milk.
How about that?
I don't know. I'm a weirdo.
Well,
I feel like everybody I talk to that's like, you'll drink milk, and they're like, that's just bizarre. I'm like, well, so what can I do?
Who
It's not
says
like I
that?
drink it all the time, but like with breakfast or something.
People think it's weird to drink milk?
Yeah, you haven't heard that?
No.
I guess.
Yeah, no. There's some people who are like, milk is for babies. Why
What?
are we drinking it when we're adults?
I think milk with ice is weird.
Oh yeah, that's a
That
little
is a little
strange.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
I
think
I did go to Jamaica, and like when I was very young, and I was still drinking milk like crazy, and they put ice cubes in their milk. So I did have that. I did have that.
Could it be because it's so hot outside?
I think it's because they didn't refrigerate their milk.
Oh, well, we don't want it to spoil.
Yeah.
No, sir. Well, from milk discussion to Disneyland discussion, let's not waste any more time. It's time for Disneyland news. Disneyland news time. This, my friends, is where we take a look at all the headlines rolling on through for you from the West Coast. And today we start off with a discussion about how the Disneyland Resort hotels are all going to be back in action starting July. Yeah, that's right. From CaliforniaNewsTimes.com, they report that Disneyland Hotel will be Disneyland Resort's third and last hotel to reopen following the long-term closure of the coronavirus after California has terminated its pandemic obligations and fully reopened the state's economy. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Disneyland Hotel will partially reopen on July the 2nd, the first time in more than a year since it closed in March 2020. Disney's Grand Californian Hotel, the day before Disneyland and California Adventure reopened after the 412-day pandemic closure. It returned on April the 29th with limited capacity. And Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel will resume on June 15th. On the same day, Governor Gavin Newsom will end his blueprint obligations for a safer economy and fully reopen the state economy. Reservations for Disneyland Hotel can be made at Fantasy Tower from Thursday, May 20th. Reservations for Disneyland Hotel can be made at Fantasy Tower from Thursday, May 20th. Disneyland Hotel's Adventure Tower and Frontier Tower will be reopened at a later date. This is fantastic news, Tyler and Katrina. Very pumped to see all hotels about to be reopened officially after so long being shut down. Tell me, who's got a reservation?
Oh, these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to. We're not going like the opening day, but we're going July 4th, and we already had like park reservation and stuff. So it's just like, and who knows? We're holding out hope, just a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
That they could possibly do some sort of firework thing at Disney that night, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a possibility. But it maybe
It's
we'll
all
see.
I want.
I
When
mean, June
reservations
15th.
open for that weekend, I'm like, we kind of have to. I'm gonna have a 3-day weekend coming up. I need like a getaway.
Yeah,
It's a must.
and obviously, I'm not going to say Disneyland Hotel is like my favorite hotel, but I just miss Trader Sam's so much, and I miss the experience of staying places. So it's just something we had to do, and hopefully I'm sure we're going to have a great time. I don't know why I'm saying hopefully. We're going to have a great
Hopefully,
time.
we'll have a great time. I don't know.
Well, so I guess what I'm worried about is that, if like, are they going to just have Trader Sam's be just for guests, or is it going to be like wide open? Because if it's wide open, I remember the lines when like they came out with like the Hatbox Ghost mug and stuff, and they went all the way to like the downtown Disney parking lot, and I'm thinking, I could see that happening if they open it up to everybody. So we'll maybe not quite that crazy, but
Perhaps a virtual queue will be in order.
that would be
yeah,
very nice,
maybe.
yeah.
I mean, maybe something like a reservation, something wild like that. I don't know.
Oh
But
my gosh, I can't
they
handle any
wouldn't.
more reservations. Like I'm
That's true.
waking up way too early, and I've never gotten like half of it until like maybe later down, like a few hours later, when
Yeah.
the Disneyland app actually starts working again, and then I maybe be able to grab some stuff. Like no more reservations. Maybe
No more.
virtual queue is like when you show up, put your name in. You have to be in that proximity to put your name in. I think that's fair enough. Like if you're actually at the resort and you want to go do it, kind of like like Gideon's. Like you have to show up at Disney Springs, put your name in the virtual queue, and then just wait around all day until your number is called, and then you go buy a whole bunch of cookies.
I mean, the longer you wait, the more hungry you become for the cookies
Or thirsty
or thirsty.
for Trader Sam's.
Get your milk without ice
yeah,
and get your cookie.
Or you get a blended one called pina colada, but it's not really with milk, so ugh.
Not really the same
yeah, that
thing.
sounds real gross.
Yeah.
Right, can you imagine? I guess it'd be called a smoothie, if you will, like a chocolate shake, if you
Sure,
will.
those lines.
Maybe, I don't know. Anyway,
Let's forget about this
I'm super
abomination.
stoked for the hotel to come back. It's like not a lot of people are talking about like what is it, Paradise Pier Hotel like opening. Like everybody kind of like swept that under the rug.
Yeah.
Who cares
Afterthought.
about that hotel, and then like Disneyland Hotel like, oh my god. But it's exciting though, because they did say that they were renovating the hotel,
Right.
which is great, because we would always like talk about that, right? Like
Yep.
the carpets need upholstered, like they said they redid the lobby, I think if I read that right, and then they changed some stuff around in the rooms.
They redid the firework board on the back
Yeah.
apparently, so I'm excited to see what that's about. Because if you don't know, when you go to Disneyland Hotel, there's a little switch you can flick, and and there's all these fiber optic fireworks that happen, and it plays you a little lullaby,
Kiss goodnight.
and so I'm really
Or kiss good
curious
morning.
if how much, what they've changed about that. That's going to be really cool to see. So.
Yeah. So that's probably why Adventure Tower and oh my gosh, Frontierland Tower is probably, that's the reason why it's a delayed opening, is probably because they're trying to get those done. And like, I mean, Fantasyland is like the place to be, I guess. I always liked Adventureland Tower.
Mhm.
I always like staying there, but
I like that one too.
Fantasyland is, it's a whimsical and it's like the perfect thing, and it's like in the lobby, so
Mhm.
it's like perfect, easy check in, check out, and all the people like crossing paths and whatnot. So I'm happy with it.
It'll be great to have the hotels of the Disneyland Resort back in action. As we had mentioned, June 15th seems to be the day that California is moving forward, throwing out most restrictions, throwing out a lot of the pandemic-era rules. Terrific news as everything moves forward finally, especially in this state where we always seem to be last to the party when it comes to the rest of the country. But hey, at any rate, it's finally happening after more than a year of waiting for this moment. And California officials are saying that capacity limits, physical distancing requirements, all that, ending on June the 15th. As a matter of fact, the story goes, according to ABC7, the California state officials have announced that the state is still on track for a full reopening on or before June 15th. When that time rolls around, capacity restrictions and physical distancing constraints will no longer be required. Proof of vaccination or a negative COVID-19 test will not be required for really anything unless it happens to deal with certain ramifications of indoor mass gatherings. California will no longer have requirements, but will have recommendations for mega events, such as outdoor live events for more than 10,000 people. In these types of settings, California will recommend that venues have a type of vaccination, negative COVID-19 test verification. At this time, it's unclear if Disneyland would fall under these recommendations. Disneyland will certainly have more than 10,000 guests in their theme parks at any given time. As we understand it, though, this story comes to us from blogmickey.com. As we understand it, though, the theme parks are not a part of that rollout, or not a part of that formal announcement, but a more formal announcement of recommendations will be forthcoming from the state, and will continue to be added to as we march towards June the 15th. But as of right now, that is kind of where things stand at the moment. So lots of restrictions, lots of things rolling back in that regard as we officially reopened Disneyland here a couple weeks ago. Things happen lightning fast in this entire shuffle as we move about in terms of reopening not only the theme parks, but we reopen with all these precautions, all these restrictions, and California residents only, all these unique restrictions. And now with the CDC coming in here not too long ago, about a week and a half ago, to announce that officially they're rolling back their restrictions. The California announcement, we should point out, was made before the CDC announcement. So they had already sort of predicted June 15th was going to be the time they were going to start rolling things back in the state. And then the CDC came about after that to say, hey, now you can walk around outside with the mask on. If you're vaccinated, you can walk around inside without a mask on. Things are different now. We're finally rolling things back. At one point of view of this, one aspect of this is kind of incredible to think that it's been a year and a half. Vaccines have been rolled out in that time. Things have been completely turned upside down and now are turning right side up again. And at the same time, it's like, I can't believe that happened, and now I can't believe we're here. Because what felt like an eternity in 2020 was really a short amount of time, and it's weird to think that way, but now we're finally, it looks like, on the other side of this. I can't believe it.
We knew when it started so quickly. I also felt like, well, at one point, we're just going to drop everything too, and it was going to end quickly, but still, it still feels like, I feel like my brain has gotten like this weird, like agoraphobic thing that it's like, started thinking about when all this stuff happened. And I need to fight that kind of caveman urge, I feel like, and be like, no, I'm safe again. It's okay. Yeah. Like I'm fully vaccinated. And it's just like, no, they tell us this is the reason we got the vaccination. So, I'm not a doctor with a lab coat. I'm going to listen to what they say. And if they're telling me I'm going to be, this is as safe as possible, then I gotta go with what they say. I mean, it's weird to be back here, but I'm also happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And to know that we're finally going to get to a place, come June 15th, where restrictions are going to be lifted, and Disneyland's going to make their formal announcements here coming soon. But they already passed the mark with the yellow tier, as we have here in California, colored tier systems in which we can reopen things. So the lowest tier on the rung. So Disneyland is now able to lift up into the 35 percentile of capacity, and then coming June 15th, they can just throw out the whole model and say, we can welcome everybody back in.
That's great.
Yeah.
California sticks to their own rules versus what the CDC says. So that kind of confused everybody that first weekend. Everybody's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Can we not? And then LA's like, no, or California's like, nah.
Yeah.
But it's great to see everything turn around. I'm curious when Disney's going to make their announcement on if they're going to increase capacity. I can't imagine Disney doing 100% capacity yet.
Right.
Maybe 35 and then slowly progress maybe 10% every few months or so until Christmas.
Sure.
Possibly. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. But I feel when we've gone for a couple weekends, it changed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So the first weekend we went, the opening day, there wasn't a lot of people. It was super great. And then a couple weeks later we went, and you could tell there was more.
Things are changing.
More people are coming. I don't know how much. I get it's 25%, but it's interesting to see that every time you look on the calendar for the blockout dates or the dates that you can book your reservation. Sometimes they were sold out for Disneyland, and then all of a sudden they started creeping. So you never know. They might be going to 35%, and they're not really telling anybody, but they already added 35% for June 15th or something, the big day.
Yeah, we've witnessed refills of reservation opportunities throughout the calendars here coming up that were originally gone. Yeah. So definitely lots of things changing very quickly, all for the good. Selfishly, I know we all wish that things would remain very low capacity for our own benefit. But we know
included,
that. Yeah, we know that lots of people are yearning to get back to the happiest place on earth, and we can't be selfish. We have to share.
No.
I know. We look forward to welcoming you all back as soon as you can visit. Yeah, it'll be great when that finally comes around. In other news, we are seeing that potentially an Indiana Jones themed bar will be making its way into the next round of growth. That's right, at the Disneyland Resort. So the Walt Disney World Indiana Jones restaurant and bar with the theme of a pilot's hangar and an airplane hangar is a high-end eater entertainment concept that Disneyland can build under a rethinked long-term vision of the Anaheim theme park resort district. It's an example of what they might do, as referenced recently with a conference call with the Disney Forward Thinking, as they were calling it, the Disneyland Forward Project, proposal for what is coming to the Disneyland Resort in the future. You might recall we did a long-form video on this where we looked at the concept art that they had produced and shared, just to kind of whet people's appetite as to what's going to happen, potentially based on a variety of factors. And of course, that concept art can change rapidly. That concept art can change millions of times before anything even breaks ground. But Disneyland has teased now a Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar that we see over in Disney Springs out at Walt Disney World as one of the restaurant concepts that could be part of an expansion proposed for the Disneyland Resort. I know that it's a huge hit out there. People love that hangar bar. Indiana Jones, anything I'm a huge fan of. I think we should always have more Indiana Jones in our life. What do you guys think? I mean, it's just one of many things that they're proposing, but now they're kind of circulating that, as they did in the conference call, and mentioning oh, this is particularly one of those things that could absolutely be brought over to Disneyland with the expansion. It's why would you mention it if you weren't going to get serious about it?
We need it. I mean, we have the ride. So I feel it fits perfectly with us. But we don't have enough things at Disney, in downtown Disney. We need some kind of cool spot for people to come hang out, grab a drink, socialize, grab dinner, and then go shopping. It would fit perfectly where Rainforest Cafe used to be. That would have been that's the perfect situation. Get rid of that Star Wars store. No one likes it.
Meant to be temporary.
Yeah, it's get rid of it. Put the hangar bar in there, and then bring more shops down to the other half. No one goes shopping down there. It's the dead zone. You know, it's like you go to your hotel, you go walk to the parking structure. That is where, like, you know, the forgotten things go, you know, and it's sad to say it. And then we need it. And I'm so excited that they're actually going to propose something like this. And then maybe because it's situated kind of near Indiana Jones on a nice, cool, quiet night, you can probably hear the thunder and the rumbling of Indiana Jones in the distance.
It is true. If you're walking by downtown Disney, you can definitely hear that boulder. My first thought about it was, I was like, I'm excited, don't get me wrong, but I was a little bit like, oh, I would love for them to like flex their muscle and do something completely unique.
Use their brain.
Yeah,
Imagination.
But then I thought to myself too, like, well, if you think about it, we've got a Trader Sam's on both coasts, right? And Grog Grotto and Enchanted Tiki Bar both feel very different from each other.
Yeah.
So I feel like you could actually have kind of a Jock Lindsay West, and it could be like a completely different experience. But it sounds really cool, and what I want them to do is like more stuff like this. I don't want it to just stop there. I wish, because like Katrina was saying, there's not much at Downtown Disney in terms of that type of bar. Like, I feel like the closest thing is maybe like Uva Bar, and other than that, we don't really have anything that's like just a kind of relaxing bar.
I mean, you have like, I guess, Splitsville, but even then their food is like bleh, and their area to hang out is not as calm and inviting, I guess, as Uva Bar, because Uva Bar is like situated right in the middle, so you can just kind of like just look around, have a drink, have an appetizer. You don't feel bad by not ordering an entree. You know, they have
well,
entrees
that's what I'm
and
saying.
stuff,
Like
but...
if I go to Splitsville, I feel like I'm supposed to order an entree, but if I go to Uva Bar, I feel like I can just hang out, you know. And that's what I feel like the difference is. But this is really cool news. I want them to make. I want it to be like think about Disney Springs. It's a shopping center that has a complete story and theme behind it. Like, if you look into the story of Disney Springs, you know, the Planet Hollywood was the old observatory, and there's all these different there's train tracks running through there because they used to bring, you know, supplies back and forth, and Morimoto's used to be a bottle factory and stuff like that. So it's like, I love that they put a story into Disney Springs. Have a story at Downtown Disney. I think that would be excellent. So that's what I'm excited for.
Well, we are interested in what you think should be the next big themed restaurant, next big themed bar, next big themed experience. Whether you'd add it to Downtown Disney or part of that new expansion, maybe in a part of a theme park expansion for Disneyland or California Adventure, let us know in the comment section. We always look forward to hearing your perspective. All right, my friends, you stick around. More Kingdom Report Live news next.
Do you know everything the ghost host is going to say before he says it? Are you ready to thank the Venetians each time you board Spaceship Earth? Can you recite Walt's opening day dedication speech? Then join the Kingdom team today, the influential legacy fan community featuring exclusive merchandise that will alert all who've come to this happy place that you are more than just another guest. You are a trusted theme park fan. Don't miss out. Join the Kingdom team right now by visiting the homepage at kingdomreportlive.com. That's kingdomreportlive.com. And now, back to the magic. Do you know everything the
Gared on the go time. Walt Disney World's very own lovable, livable, huggable reporter for the Kingdom Report, standing by for us somewhere in Orlando. Where are you at today, mister?
I am in the African village of Harambe here at Disney's Animal Kingdom, in front of where they are currently putting on a celebration of the Festival of the Lion King. And it is a beautiful day. Do you just see these happy clouds above us? I know Tyler and Katrina are extremely jealous of these clouds.
Love a happy cloud.
I know, they're beautiful. They're calling you in, but it is a beautiful day out here. It's good to be back in the park. Got this reservation last second, so I'm very thankful for that. But it's good to be back. Missed all of you.
It's good to see your face, like your full face.
Yeah.
Much love.
Forgot what it looked like.
I was talking more to the viewers, but I missed you guys too.
Oh, rude.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Cut him
I
off.
love you guys.
Yeah.
He's being honest. Appreciate the honesty.
Well, I okay, don't tell the viewers this, but I missed you guys most of all.
I don't believe that for a second. Not,
I don't either.
not for a damn minute. Do I
Are
believe
you
that.
reminded of milk cartons when you look at me like Wade was?
Well, no, Tyler, I am with you where I like to drink milk. What do you do with your cookies?
Right?
The milk.
What are you supposed to do with an Oreo? You ain't gonna drink milk
Yeah.
with it? Come on
Yeah.
now.
Every morning I have a glass of chocolate milk. So I'm not sure if that's in the same,
I bet he has like a
universe,
dozen
but
eggs, like Gaston.
And chocolate milk.
I actually
And chocolate milk, yeah.
I only do 4 eggs actually. I'm kind of on an egg loss right now. I
Unbelievable.
can't handle that many dozen eggs.
It's too many eggs.
Yeah, four is reasonable. 4 dozen, 5 dozen. That's a bit much. That's like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and still nowhere close to being Gaston size. So I figure
Wow.
I'll just be normal.
Well, thank you for that. We appreciate normalcy. Hey, you being in front of that Festival Lion King is great news, but even better news. There's nothing on that face of yours. There's no
You are right,
face
Wayne.
mask, sir.
You're right. For those who have never seen my face fully, this is it. Just no.
Oh no.
Wow.
Put that on a milk
Oh
carton.
my God.
Absolutely, but Wade, you are absolutely right. The mask rules here at Walt Disney World have recently changed in the past few weeks. Before it was you can only remove it when actively eating or drinking, or in a relaxation area, or in an area like not in the parks. But Disney has since changed it because the Orange County mayor has stated that, hey, if you're outside and you're fully vaccinated, hey, you do not need to wear a mask. You are safe to do so. However, you do need to keep them on if you're going indoors. And how does this relate to Disney? You might be wondering. Well, that's a great question. With Disney, if you're wandering around the parks, you can have your mask off. It's completely optional. I always have it on hand because you have to. But if you're going into any indoor attraction experience or any form of transportation, you need to put it on. So if I were to go into Festival of the Lion King back there, I would need to put it on before entering that queue. Just the other day, I went to Magic Kingdom, and you can walk in without a mask on. But if you're doing anything, if you wanted to go to Be Our Guest restaurant, you got to put that mask on. There is no ifs, ands, buts about it. Disney cast members will not allow you to enter that area until you've put it on. Currently, the mask mandate is like this, but the mayor of Orange County, Florida, that is, has stated that he's hoping that once 71% of Orange County residents are fully vaccinated, that they will be able to remove that mandate altogether. And right now, it's just around 51%. But he's really hoping that by the 4th of July, you can walk around indoor, outdoor without mask if you're fully vaccinated, and that if you feel comfortable for that. So it's very, very exciting to see. When I went to Magic Kingdom the other day, it was kind of eye-opening for me because I walked around, I'm like, people aren't wearing masks anymore. And it shocked me because I completely forgot about the rules. And I asked the cast member, and they're like, it's strange seeing guests without masks after so long, but it's nice to see that the sense of normalcy is coming back, that guests are able to, walk around and feel comfortable, especially as the summer months are coming on. If you've never been out in the Florida sun in the summer, it is not a walk in the park. It's hot, it's muggy. So it's a good thing. But remember, at least for now, you got to wear a mask when you're going inside anything at Disney World. That includes Disney Springs, the resorts, hotels. So it's very good news that masks don't need to be worn outside. But remember, follow the rules, keep them on when you're inside. For myself personally, I put it on whenever I talk to a cast member, but that's because I work in hospitality, and that's how I like guests to interact with me. But that's just my personal take. Everyone has their own. But exciting news. I'm sure you guys out in California, when you heard this, you're like, we want that. We want that soon.
I don't know. It feels weird. I mean, I do want it, and listen. It's about to be summer, and I don't want a weird tan line or anything. So I get it.
I have a mask tan line.
You do? I can't see it, but
no, it's hard to see. But in the right lighting, it's a little light around the cheek, and so for me, it's like, let me even that tan line out.
Take it in, get those cheeks. Yeah. So it seems weird. It really seems weird, but also it's the right thing to do, right? So it's just it's like my brain is conflicted.
That's right. You got to keep rewiring.
Yeah, it's like I was rewired, and now a year and a half later, they want me to rewire again. So here we go again, but I'll be there.
Get back into the swing of things, that's for sure. And there's going to be even more space in which to enjoy Walt Disney World here very soon. As we understand it, Gared, more hotel rooms making their way into Central Florida. What can you tell us?
Yes, indeed. So, if you like to stay at a resort with red roofs that have white buildings, well, you're in luck because the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa has announced that in the coming year that they are going to be expanding here. They're going to be adding up to 200 new resort studios in their Big Pine building. If you've ever been around there, Grand Floridian is split into sort of two halves. You've got the normal resort and spa, and then you also have the Disney Vacation Club area, the DVC villas. And the difference between a normal room and a DVC room is that a DVC room has a lot more amenities. You have, your own special way to walk into the resort. You also have a different area of parking. Along with that, your rooms are simply massive. You can fit 6+ guests without even breaking a sweat, while in a normal room, that's getting 2 rooms or having to get some kind of suite.
Wow.
So they plan to do this.
I didn't realize that.
A lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people. And the room that they currently have at Grand Floridian Resort and Spa for the villas is they have studios. They have 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. They don't have any presidential suites. That's strictly for the hotel side of things. But they have a lot of different room variations. And the project is supposed to start summer 2022. And the sales of these villas will go at a different time. If you did not know, being that it's a Disney Vacation Club, meaning that it's sort of real estate. You have to purchase a contract for X amount of dollars, and that gets you X amount of points, and then you can spend that at your resort. It's a highly lucrative business. I don't truly understand how it is because I'm not a DVC owner, but I do know this. DVC rooms are amazing, and the DVC resorts are simply phenomenal. It's like you're staying at a completely different resort, and it's very nice to go there. My favorite one are the Beach Club villas, but that's my personal take. I'm sure others like Key West from Fort Wilderness. But
bougie.
Very exciting.
Very bougie.
Yeah. But the final note is that currently the Grand Floridian has around 100, rooms that are DVC. It seems about to have 300. So, it's tripling its size pretty much. So a lot more room for guests to stay there if they are DVC. So keep your eyes open out there. If you're looking to be a DVC owner, hey, you might just be in luck at the Grand Floridian. You can say hi to, well, I don't have any friends there, but you can say hi to the sand. I don't know.
The sand.
Wow.
Mary Poppins used to hang out there, and I was cool with Mary Poppins, but
I mean,
she's not
Cinderella
there anymore.
used to come down, and Prince Charming used to meet her and have a little dance down below by the lobby. That always caught me by surprise.
I've actually never eaten at 1800 Park Fair. I've never eaten there, or 1600, whatever the Park Fair is.
1900 Park Fair.
1900.
Walt Disney World Reporter, ladies and gentlemen. There he is.
It's some number above 100 and less than 2,000. But
very good.
But Grand Floridian is a wonderful place. Check it out, folks.
Yeah, it's certainly the most stunning. Has long been considered the flagship resort of Walt Disney World, and for a lot of people that have visited these hotel rooms, especially in recent years, a lot more criticism has been thrown at this resort overall for not being worth the price tag. We've heard that time and time again. Certainly a place that, while I could never afford to stay there, a location where I have dined many times, and also the grounds itself. Gorgeous. Stunningly beautiful. Yeah.
I really want to walk on that path, to Magic Kingdom. The last time we were there, that was my goal, but we never really had time to. And so I was like, okay, well, one day. But it's it's so breathtaking. Yeah. But I am on board with those people that hotel needs to be renovated. We moved rooms 3 times because there was mold, and then it smelled worse, and then it was dirty, and I was like, oh my god. And then they just then they took us to another area, and it was perfect, and they're really nice, and they were able to get us the room. But again, it was just it's shabby in there.
Yeah.
The carpets, it's like the Disneyland Hotel. It's it needed more love, more reupholstered chairs. The floors need to be removed. And I'm sure with these DVC resorts that they're the DVC edition that they're going to build, I'm sure they're not going to add carpets all the resorts that they're redoing now. They're just making it look exactly the same.
Yeah, they seem to be going more the route of carpetless.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. It's a location that, while very central to the Magic Kingdom, and certainly with that new walkway, you have the monorail service, the ferry.
Enchanted Rose is gorgeous. Even just to go grab a drink or walk around and just hang out, it's a gorgeous resort. Yeah. It's so beautiful. Very expensive. If they renovated the whole place, then it would be worth the price. But just you don't have to stay there. Just go have a drink after the park. You have the walkway, go to Enchanted Rose, whatever. Have dinner there at the different locations. Like, I've never been in Arcoozy yet. Not yet.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
We have
that.
wonderful things there.
Yeah, and we've heard nothing but great things, and so we need to try it. That's like the next thing we need to do on the docket.
Yeah, definitely. But for me, that's the thing about Grand Floridian is like the lobby's beautiful, the restaurants are great, the grounds are nice, the rooms they need some help. So
what you go there for?
I will.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say Christmas time at Grand Floridian is unlike any other, with that massive tree and the actual house made out of gingerbread, the actual real life gingerbread house. It's absolutely stunning. But I say all of us, we get together, we all go to Victoria and Albert's, have a nice dinner.
Let's do it.
On Gared.
Yeah.
Yep.
What?
It's all on Gared. All the extras and
Simba,
everything.
you're calling me.
Oh. Well, you tell us in the comment section, everybody. Have you been to Grand Floridian? Are you excited about the idea of more Disney Vacation Club rooms coming into this location, or should they pay attention to the rooms that they already have and bring those up to standard? Of course, again, this being a flagship resort for Walt Disney World, they kind of use it as that gem, right? Like that crown jewel for all things Disney World in terms of hotel stays. So not just the criticism that you've heard here, there's a groundswell of people that are all saying abroad, not just here in this studio, but hearing across the country and from folks that visit from around the world, that it just isn't what it used to be, and would much rather stay at other Disney resort hotels that do meet the standard that Disney has set over the course of time. So always interested to hear what you think. Gared, it sounds like as we march towards the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World, some added magic is being infused by way of Snapchat?
Yes, indeed. Snapchat and Disney are collaborating and are teaming up to make something magical come. They are bringing augmented reality to Walt Disney World. And these new Snap lenses on your screen, you're going to see, you have a chance to not only meet Mickey and Minnie, but you also get some balloons in your photos too. And this is just an amazing way of how Disney is trying to modernize the way it gets go about taking photos by combining, this digital world and the physical one where we are in. And in the video, you can see how the castle is going to have all these photos on there. As the 50th anniversary approaches in the fall, guests will be able to select their favorite photo pass, and it will go through augmented reality and be on that castle. So you can be a part of Cinderella Castle, which is, the icon of Walt Disney World. If you want to check it out right now, if you go into the My Disney Experience app and you scroll down, you'll see a thing where it says Snapchat and Disney, or Snapchat and Disney Parks. You can click on there. It will then take you to the Snapchat app, and you can take a selfie and have one of your favorite Disney characters in there. I did it earlier, and it was the cutest thing because I'm just standing there, and then Mickey's right there, and if you raise your eyebrow, he gives you a hug, and it's cute, it's adorable.
I feel like we needed this a year ago when I couldn't get hugs.
I just think that's funny. Like when you raise your eyebrows, like, oh, Mickey, you're being a little sus, and then all of a sudden he gives you a big hug. You're like, oh.
You can't raise it like you gotta do like a smiley face eyebrow raise.
No, I get it. I'm just imagining looking a little frightened, and then he just gives you a big hug after you look a little. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. But in the future, right now you can try this for free, but after June 3rd, it will only be exclusively for those staying at Walt Disney World. So you can't do it if you're just, out in Des Moines, Iowa. Hey, if you're from Des Moines, check it out right now. But if not, you got to come out here from June 3rd to check this out. And, it's a cool that Disney is doing this collab with Snapchat. Virtually every, I would say, millennial and, people under the age of 100 have used Snapchat in some capacity, whether it's taking a selfie with their grandkids, taking a selfie on their own phone, or whatever else the combination is. This is really cool to see. And I hope that in the future, they will only increase it by adding more characters and more experiences. I personally would love it if you raise your eyebrows and then, a cannon shoots out from Pirates of the Caribbean. But this is an amazing opportunity for you to connect with Disney World in a way that has not been done before. So go Disney, go Snapchat on this collab. Can't wait to see how it turns out once it becomes officially online June 3rd. But until then, head into the My Disney Experience app, check it out. It's really fun. You can do Minnie, Mickey, and some balloons.
Very interesting to think that this partnership didn't exist up until now. It seems like there would have been a lot leading up to this point, with various augmented reality items thrown into the Disney World mix, being the destination that it is, being the place that it is, with its sort of advanced thinking and technology. Kind of surprised.
I'm curious why Snapchat, because of what they're kind of slack they're getting right now with their, messaging system and all the bad things that have happened and people that we've lost because of that. So I'm curious why Disney is now teaming up with Snapchat.
It seems like it's a place for predators too, which is a weird thing. But you're right. It seems like this should have something like this should have happened a long time ago. And the only thing I can think of is that they were probably approached by Snapchat and they were like, "Hey, we have money," and Disney was like, "Well, we like money." So, I mean, that's the only thing I can imagine.
K-Pac wasn't like that. He just came out like the whatever. Now I like the Kool-Aid man running through the wall, being like, "Money."
Did somebody say money? Oh yeah.
That Bob Chapek scent of money in the air, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, it's great to hear that there's this offering now with the augmented reality. It's great to hear that they have this feature that you'll be able to do. It just seems a little behind the times. It almost seems like it's something that should have probably happened
years
ago.
ago.
I think that Snapchat has always done its own geotags, if I'm not mistaken, right? So if you did show up at Disneyland, I think certain things were unlocked that you could only get while you were there. But this is a whole nother level, obviously. So it's interesting to see. Mickey looks a little scary for me, but
he does. Yeah, I've seen the real life augmented reality as it happens with the Snapchat filter, and it is a little strange.
Reminds me of Waldo from the Muppet 3D. The spirit of 3D, Waldo.
Right.
That's what he That's what he reminds me of. I'm like, he's the same.
I want that to be a filter. I want that to be a
yeah,
filter.
put
That
Waldo
would be
in
really
there.
fun.
I want Waldo
There
to
we are.
fly around my head. That sounds good to
All
me.
these other people think I'm talking to them,
Yeah.
but I'm really just talking to you.
Exactly.
That's how they say it. Well, Gared, you're the only augmented reality we need in our life, and we thank you for bringing us all the
Is that
Disney
good or
World.
bad? Does that mean I'm not real?
Yeah, you're a digital apparition. I thought everybody knew that.
Yeah. What a twist.
Yeah, this may be a live show, but I am a live augmented reality
That's right.
creation.
Through our own
like a dream.
our own partnership with Snapchat, we brought you to life, and now you're self-aware. The whole system might fall.
Well. Oh no!
What's
Yeah,
He's seizing up.
He's glitching out.
I don't know what glitching's supposed to look like. I can't make my head appear left.
I
and
mean, we
right.
got it. We got it.
We understand what you're doing, but enjoy yourself at Animal Kingdom, buddy. We will be speaking to you again very soon. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested in more Walt Disney World news, more Disney Parks news, head on over to KingdomReportLive.com. Or if you like what you've heard here in this segment, go ahead, drop us a big old thumbs up on this video, and leave us a comment down below. Are you somebody that's looking forward to the Disney Vacation Club rooms coming to the Grand Floridian? Are you somebody that's going to utilize yourself a little augmented reality Snapchat filter the next time you visit Walt Disney World? Always interested to hear your perspective in the comment section down below. Let's keep that fun rolling. It's time for the Disney List. Disney List time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we share with you some of our favorites, least favorites of an individual topic. And today's Disney List is all about our favorite attractions and shows at Disney's Animal Kingdom Park. We have so many options in a park like this, so many options in a place that's more than just a zoo, as we like to hear. Yeah, they do say that. So here with us today to chat about it, Tyler, Crouch, Katrina Manzone. Gared Hassel is out in Walt Disney World. Let's start here first. Katrina,
Yes.
best shows and attractions at Animal Kingdom. When you go visit there, what tops your list?
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
The safari is the one. I mean, that was always the to-do on our list, to get the fast pass, you wake up at 6 in the morning and be like, we got to get that fast pass. And so safari was always fun because it always changes, every time you go, there's always something new. And the last time we went, I got to finally hear a lion roar.
Oh.
That was the coolest thing. And it was still roaring as we drove by. And I was like, no, wait.
Yeah, if you've never heard a lion roar, it's
cool.
something that you can't even explain. Really, it is it is a crazy noise.
You feel it in your
you feel it.
chest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
insane.
not even kidding how epic it was.
Yeah.
literally just as we were driving by, a complete Simba moment, just jumped up, or just like got up, jumped up on the rock. The two ladies were looking like, hey, what up? What you about to say? And then he just gets up on that rock. He's like, I'm going to say something. He's like, rawr. And we're like, what? Like, this is insane. Like, he jumped up on the highest rock and then just roared. And I was like, am I dreaming? And then we just like drove away, and I like still had it recording to just like hear the sound go. And it was the coolest thing. And then the rhinos, like, they always, like, sometimes they like to get up close and personal with you, and they're like, oh God, what's happening?
Lions be roaring.
Yeah.
Though. They do.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rhinos be moving, lions be roaring.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Do you have a
Ostriches,
favorite?
They keep their you keep your distance.
They...
I don't like you.
them and their long necks. Do you have a favorite animal on the safari that you go for?
The lion.
Yeah, it's got to be a
Yeah,
lion.
every single time we always drive by, and sometimes you'll see like a fate. You know, they're always sleeping. Like,
Yeah.
I've never seen them really move except
That's
for
true.
like one of the ladies. You know, and then they're always just sleeping or whatnot. But that's always like my favorite moment. You know, I want to like. It's hard to pick a second one. I want to say Yak and Yeti just because it is always fun to eat there, and that is my attraction. I always look forward to. I always want to eat there. I know that doesn't count, but I still want to say it's really good.
Okay, yeah. Honorable mention for food.
Yeah,
Got it.
it's great. I don't know what my second one would be like, because that's like always like my go-to. I guess.
Something in Pandora?
I know. I was like, I don't know. Like a dinosaur, I guess, is always just fun because it's just so silly. I don't know. It's just because it reminds me of like Indiana Jones. So it's like a home away from home because it has the same ride style.
It is the most Twilight Zone
It's
of
weird.
all the rides in Walt Disney World, right? Because it is exactly Indiana Jones, but just with dinosaurs.
Yeah, because like if you've been on Indiana Jones, you go on the bridge, and then you turn around, and you're like, oh no, snakes! I hate snakes. And then you go whoop, and then you just like duck down. And the same with dinosaur, you just kind of go in and you do this turn, but then there's like a pterodactyl, and you're like, what is happening? So that's always fun. That's always my
you definitely know where you're going next if you've been on the Indiana Jones attraction at Disneyland. I always know which turn I'm about to take based purely on what turn I usually take.
You don't need him saying right, left, right. I was like, I got it. I
know it. Well, I know where it's going. Tyler, what about you? What tops your list?
Yeah, so I mean, I think for me, the no-brainer is the safari. The Kilimanjaro Safari is that is the heart of Animal Kingdom. I feel like it is. Without the safari, Animal Kingdom would be, Magic Kingdom in a way. Really, it really would be. So it's just one of those things where, to me, that's what all Animal Kingdom is all about, is the conservation thing, and I really like the safari just for the fact too that every time you go on it, something different happens. I mean, we can all go on Flight of Passage over and over again, but it's the same ride every single time. I love going on the safari, seeing different things, seeing the hippos. I always love seeing, bathing out there with their big red bloat of hippos and towers of giraffes and so I think that's really fun. And like Katrina said, the lions are always just incredible to see. And I feel like if you go in the morning, or even like if you can get on like the last ride of the night, even, that's kind of the best times to see the lions doing something.
I hear that.
So yeah,
one day we'll see a cheetah sprint.
Yeah, we have seen, the cheetahs are there. Sometimes they're hard to see, but anyway, safari, that's the heart of Animal Kingdom for me. And for my second one, I feel like a lot of people are going to be confused by this, but and now I'm blanking on what the name of the attraction even is. So how much do I love it, right?
It's that good.
The boat ride, oh my gosh, the Pandora boat ride. Why am I blanking on it?
Oh, the Pandora boat.
Yeah,
ride.
the Pandora
okay.
one.
Oh, got it. All right.
Why am I blanking? How come nobody can tell me the name? Does anybody remember?
Because you're making me want to forget it.
The Navi River Journey.
Navi River Journey. Thank you. That's
Or,
what
I
we
don't know,
hire.
it's
That's what we
River-
have
That's why he's the
That's why we have a
reporter for King
Disney World
Magic.
reporter. Yeah. So
Clearly,
Navi.
it's your favorite attraction.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Navi River Journey. It's great because
That surprises me.
Yeah.
and Flight of Passage is obviously the more like e-ticket ride. I get it. It's the more exciting ride.
cool.
I totally understand that. But I think as like a whole package, I love the lead up of Navi River Journey. And and for those that don't know, Navi River Journey is supposed to be like a kind of opening to Flight of Passage. Like that the Navi River Journey is about you being like accepted by the Navi, and then after that, now you've been accepted, and now you can go fly on a Banshee. So I've always loved the storytelling in that ride, and it's not like it's one of the few rides I feel like that they're not, even though it is IP, don't get me wrong, I feel like they're not pushing the IP. They're just saying like, this is just a beautiful ride. It's just a ride about, it's almost like it has this very artistic feel to it that I feel like Disney rides don't really have that often anymore. And then to top it all off, the shaman at the end is like incredible. So to me, those are the two that I kind of look forward to the most when I go to Animal Kingdom.
Pretty good. Yes, Navi River Journey out there in Pandora. We now toss it on over to Gared Hassel, Walt Disney World reporter in Animal Kingdom. Sir, what tops your list?
Well, everyone went with Safari, so I'll try and do something other than Safari. It's not a true attraction, but it's definitely an experience that I consider an attraction, and that is Gorilla Falls. I love this location just because, like, it's like how Tyler and Katrina both said that, like, if you take away, the Safari, you take away the animals, it's just another theme park. And like Gorilla Falls allows you to walk into these areas, especially you go into the aviary and you can see all these birds flying around you. My favorite one, the lovebird, because they're always in pairs because they're lovebirds. But I love this location. It has so many different animals in there. It's got zebras, meerkats. You've even got a hippo. You've got gorillas. Same thing. You also see an okapi, which is one of the weirdest and coolest animals in the animal kingdom. And a lot of people bypass this. They get off of, Safari and they just walk past it. No, like, go into Gorilla Falls. It's an amazing experience. I'm also biased in this because Ariel, my girlfriend, she used to work on this experience, this attraction. It's a jungle out here, folks. But I love that attraction. It's fun and it's tranquil. It's peaceful, and you don't feel rushed. You go at your own pace. And shout out to my homeboy Cletus, the African bullfrog. He holds it down. He's always in that cage. He weighs like 15 pounds. He's a big boy, but he's got to unlock Cletus. You're my dog.
Oh, Cletus.
Well, bullfrog.
Bullfrog dog. What a boy.
And then, my second one has to be Triceratops Spin. Nothing excites me more than going on I'm joking.
Naturally, Triceratops Spin is perhaps the top of everybody's list, I thought. But
I was like, oh, wow.
What? No, definitely not. No, I will go with, Flight of Passage. It is the first time I went on it, I was simply blown away. I had tears in my eyes from the joy of it. The queue, so there are two different queues. There's the Fast Pass and the normal one. The Fast Pass one is, more ideal for get to point A to point B, but the normal queue is actually quite immersive in where you walk underneath the floating mountains, then you enter like this Na'vi cave and you see a whole story taking place between the relationship between Na'vi and humans. And then finally you enter the labs and you can see how the jungle or nature has started to take back over. And you see that audio animatronic avatar and they're just floating and it moves. It's trippy. You see all these other science experiments, but when you actually do the experience, yes, you get the cheesy pre-show, but getting on this thing and, going from sitting on the bike with a wall in front of you to flying on the back of a Banshee over Pandora, it is that transition. I was like, how did they do that? As an adult, you learn like a lot of how the tricks are made at Disney, but that one, it took me so long to realize what just happened. It was simply amazing. And the sights and sounds, Flight of Passage is it is a beautiful work of art. It is like Soarin', but taken to a whole new level. And if you didn't know, folks, this ride messes with 4 of your 5 senses. It messes with touch, smell, sight, and sound. It's not taste. Except if you open your mouth at the right time, you can
don't
taste
touch it. Don't taste
the air.
it.
Yeah.
You haven't licked it yet, I
anything,
suppose.
No, but
okay.
it is an amazing ride, and there's not many that can match it in this world. The closest thing to that is Soarin' to this degree because it's a simulator with 3D, but it's different than Rise of Resistance. It's different than Indiana Jones. It's in its own realm, and I simply love every moment of it. And for me, it's worth a little bit of a wait. I'll wait an hour plus for this attraction because it is just that darn good. Every time I go on it, I learn something new. And the little monkey at the very end, he's really cool. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to spoil anything. Keep an eye out for the monkey down below at the bottom.
Keep an eye out for the monkey. That's right. So now we turn it on over to all of you. What tops your list as the best attractions at Disney's Animal Kingdom. You leave us a little comment down below, please. Let us know what you think. Always interested in hearing your perspective. And if you see something that maybe crossed your radar in terms of what we were speaking of here, if you certainly heard it, let us know if you agree with anybody that has already shared theirs, or if you have something completely different. That's what makes Disney Parks so fun, everybody's unique perspectives on the matter. All right, my friends, you stick around. More Kingdom Report Live next.
Hey Kingdom team, do you need more magic in your life? We understand, which is why we connect you to more of what makes you happy 3 times a week. Catch our theme park coverage, vlogs, and reviews every Tuesday and Thursday. And experience the Kingdom Report Live, streaming every Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. That's new content every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, crafted with you in mind. Don't miss out. Be sure to subscribe and activate notifications at The Kingdom Report on YouTube. And catch every update throughout the week at Kingdom Report Live on social media. See you there!
Kingdom Team All Call time. This is the question and answer period where you get to toss your questions our way. You can do it at thekingdomreportlive.com by filling out the form, or you can leave it in the comments section just beneath this very video. Today's question comes to us from Tyler Bayo. Tyler asks, with Disneyland and Disney World capacity increasing, especially as they increase fast as restrictions roll back, would you want to keep any of the pandemic changes for good? Very interesting to raise this question, especially as he mentions there, Disneyland come June 15th. The state of California is kind of throwing out social distancing rules and all of the things that have been in sort of place for the last year and a half. Walt Disney World, to a significant degree, already having rolled back so many of the restrictions, so many of the rules and mandates that were there. But I think it's a great question from the perspective of some of these restrictions, some of these new rules allowed for some convenience that didn't exist before in some capacities, and also on top of that, I think a little added comfort for certain individuals, especially if you're a frequent park goer. I think you know what I'm talking about. Here to talk about it, Tyler, Crouch, Katrina Manzone, out in Walt Disney World, Gared Hassel, and I think we will start here. Tyler, when it comes down to it, are there any restrictions that are being rolled back you'd like to see kept around a little while longer?
I've got a few in mind. The first one that I can think of is kind of the way that they split up parties when you get on certain rides, right? Like, so there's certain rides like maybe Pirates of the Caribbean or even like Navi River Journey where you would get on the ride with somebody else sitting right next to you, and that's not so bad sometimes. But like a ride like Navi River Journey that has like it's a very small boat, and if you're sitting there with like other families, sometimes it can feel like a little bit claustrophobic.
Sure.
So it is nice that they are not like, you know, I don't want them to keep on, you know, separating by rows and stuff like that. I think that's a little too much, but I'm just saying, like, in my own row, it's nice to have my own row sometimes.
Yeah.
Another thing is now I'm not saying that that came about because of the coronavirus, but because it was there beforehand, obviously. But mobile order has a huge emphasis now, and I think that mobile order has been fantastic. I mean, last time we were in Orlando during the whole pandemic thing, that was the first time I really had a glimpse at how far mobile order had come, where they're having cast members with iPads waiting out front and things like that who are helping you, you know, get your order as fast as possible. And I think that sort of thing, I'm glad that got accelerated by the pandemic, and I hope they keep that around for like every place that they have right now, because much like it is right now, it's pretty much anywhere you want to go has mobile order, and I like that a lot. So then my last thing, I don't need 6 feet, but just when the restrictions go away, please stay a little bit away from me. You know what I'm saying? When I'm waiting in line, I feel like it happens more in Florida than it does in California, but there are people who just get right up on your butt, and you're just like, please, just a little bit of space, please, just a tiny bit. So I would love to see people still maintain a little bit of space between each other, but I'm not saying they need to put stickers on the floor or anything. But yeah,
Get up off Tyler's butt.
exactly.
Yeah, that's the least you could do. Let's jump out to Walt Disney World, where Gared Hassel, our Florida reporter, standing by to share some of his perspectives when it comes to the changes that have been put into place over the last year and a half due to the pandemic. Are there any changes that you saw that maybe you'd like to see stick around a little while? Maybe it made it a little bit better.
Yeah, there have been some things good and bad, but one good thing is it's going to tie in with Tyler's, where the mobile ordering has definitely changed everything. But in certain locations, we'll just say, since I'm in Animal Kingdom, if you go to a Satuli Canteen over in the World of Pandora, they only allow you to sit in there if you are eating in there. Before, people could just, go and sit down, their outside food. So I like how they've controlled it, where if you are eating at a certain location, you are the only people that are allowed to dine there unless other people are in your party. I think that makes things a lot more manageable, especially you just spent, $30 on some food and you have to now eat outside while some other person brought in, normal food. Like, no, you should be able to sit in the air conditioning and have that spot. That is something I'm very firm on. And a lot of people I talk to, they're like, you know what? Before we used to be annoyed by it, but it's nice to have that whole area and not just have, everyone else just taking up spots in a restaurant. Because imagine going into a place like Be Our Guest and you just have, Sally and Jimmy there eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches while you worked on a reservation and you're like eating there. So that's my first one. Kind of heated about that. The second one, it only applies to one park, but I would keep park reservation for only Hollywood Studios, because it stinks when they do bring back Fast Pass and everything, where you're going to go. But I would hate for, a ton of people to all be trying to get Rise of the Resistance. And then that opportunity is just gone. By keeping a reservation system, who is dedicated to going to this park, who is locked in to try and get Rise of the Resistance, versus, having all the parks open. You could have, 500,000 people all trying to go for those spots, versus, we're only allowing 125,000 trying to fit in there. So keep the reservation system just for Hollywood Studios. Other than that, let the parks be open so that way, everyone can go everywhere. But Hollywood Studios definitely needs a lot of regulation, because it's got the, this hot new ride and everyone wants to be on it. And I remember when it first came out, you'd have people crying and yelling at guest relations before the park even officially opened to complain about not getting their boarding pass. So let's keep that on, so that way there's a little bit of control and you can know who's going where and who is going to be, taking on the first order and who's not.
Great perspective there, my friend. Katrina, anything that pops to mind, changes you'd like to see kept around?
These are all really good ones.
Aren't they?
I was like, I agree again. And that's actually a good one about Rise of the Resistance, because I didn't really think about that at first. So I really agree with that on that. Because that might be an issue with Disneyland too in the future, when it's like a free for all and everybody wants to just sit at home and go, where am I gonna go today? Well, I don't know. Let's just see. I will say that I do agree with Tyler. I don't want people to sit next to me on a ride. I don't mind that, them going in front and filling every row. But it was nice to be on a ride where they're not pushing you in. At Disneyland, they're a little different. With Pirates, they're not going to force another party to be with you. But in Disney World, if you're a 2, then they're gonna sit you with another 2 to fit that row. And I don't like it. Sometimes I like to spread out. Sometimes I have my gift bags and whatnot, and I'm like, where am I supposed to put it? And then the spacing, 3 feet's okay. I'm good with that. Six is a lot. But the 3 feet thing is actually is really nice, because I agree with him. Sometimes we're just standing around, and then I have to do that pose where I have to stick my foot out as and then lean and just please keep your distance, sir.
I'm always confused what the people are thinking. I'm like, you're not going to get there any faster by being right up on top of me.
Sure?
So
it's not going to motivate
they
me.
can walk through us, and then because we're transparent, and then they just walk through.
We didn't even see you.
Yeah, it's no
Just kept
biggie.
walking.
But yeah, those are. I mean, you guys covered it pretty well. So like, I don't want those to change.
Yeah,
I'm
having
gonna
the
miss
3
it.
foot buffer is really nice. I gotta say, even you're right. I mean, 6 feet is a little much, but yeah, having at least a 3 feet, I think in life anywhere is kind of nice, right?
Yeah.
Like anywhere you go, I try my best never to be right up on somebody. I try my best never to be whispering in somebody's ear. I definitely do my best to keep a little bit of distance, and yeah, we're always interested in what you think. So you let us know. Are there any pandemic era changes that you would like to see kept? Now, certainly we're glad that we are leaving this thing in the dust and that life is moving on and that things are turning around. That is the best news. But there were some changes that were made that kind of felt good to a certain degree, especially if you're somebody that's visiting a Disney park for the sake of enjoying yourself and not having, somebody's sweaty pits in your face. That
Yeah.
sometimes is a problem summertime in Orlando. Yeah. So you let us know in the comment section down below what you think. We always appreciate hearing what's on your mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that about brings this Kingdom Report live to a close. Hey, before we get out of here, as a reminder, if you're somebody that watches this program, you deserve to be rewarded. And that is why we want to remind you that just after this live show posts, head on down to the comment section beneath this video on YouTube, of course, and leave the comment with the phrase that pays this week. That is dreams come true. Dreams come true is the comment you need to leave in order to be entered to potentially win yourself your very own Kingdom Report mug. You have until Monday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific time, to leave that comment down below, and if you are selected, we will reach out to you, ask for some communication addresses, set you up for your very own Kingdom Report mug to make its way on over to your destination, wherever that might be, because we do appreciate you watching, and so we want to reward you. So dreams come true in the comment section just beneath this video. Between now and Monday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific time, we will select somebody at random to win. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is such a great blessing to be with you every weekend. We certainly hope that you've had fun. I know we have had a good time once again. We will be back with you next Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, to connect you to more of what makes you happy. This, of course, is Kingdom Report Live. See you next week.